over the last 6 months, including visible and discrete changes. And he's not our new athletic director because our candidate pool was not strong. Josh is our new director because he represents who we are today and who we aspire to be. He has a vision of the limitlessness of U of L athletics. He has built relationships with student athletes, coaches, staffs, donors, alumni, and fans. And he has demonstrated time and time again that not only is he ready to lead our university program, he's ready to elevate it. He's a three-sport college student athlete who initially pursued a career in public service before turning his focus to college athletics, recognizing the impact that sport had on him as a young man. He began his athletics administration career right here in Louisville, working on national and conference championship events, rising to oversee capital projects including the Jim Patterson Baseball Stadium expansion, the Ulmer Softball Stadium expansion, the building of the Dr. Mark and Cindy Lynn Soccer Stadium, and the Thornton's Athletic Center of Excellence, among many notable projects. His journey took him to Villanova University, where he ultimately served as the Chief Athletics Operating Officer and was part of an NCAA National Men's Basketball Championship. He returned to Louisville in 2019 and was involved in all aspects of our Department of Athletics as the Athletic Deputy Director. If you speak with those who know Josh, both within and without the university, you're going to hear some common words: integrity, work ethic, compassion, caring, responsibility, and family. So let me pause for just a moment to introduce Josh's family, his wife Abby, and his children Hadley and Gus. So when you talk to former and current colleagues about Josh, you're also going to hear this: he is a star. I'm absolutely confident that we have hired a world-class athletic director who will serve our university with distinction. It's my distinct honor to introduce the new University of Louisville Director of Athletics, Josh Hurd.
We're going to stare at these pages and not look up, because if I do, I have a sneaking suspicion I'm going to get a little emotional. But obviously, let me just start with some thank yous. Dr. Lori Gonzalez, thank you so much. Thank you for conducting a full, comprehensive national search. The University of Louisville, their fans, and especially our student athletes deserve nothing less. And yes, thank you for having the confidence that I was the right choice at the right time to lead this athletic department. My wife, Abby, these last 6 months, working a full-time job and taking care of Hadley and Gus. Sorry, guys. I know I've been working a lot of hours, but you've been working more. All right, I knew that one was going to be tough. These get a little bit easier. Members of the President's Cabinet are... our senior staff, and our entire athletic team. You've been true allies. On good days, you've been there to celebrate, and on tougher days, you've been there with some kind words. Our coaches, that one's a little bit tough too. Thank you for believing in me. I'm not standing up here without your belief that I'm the right person for this job. Our student athletes, they motivate us every day. We can never lose sight of the simple fact that the decisions we make affect the lives of other people's children. They are why we're in this business. Some of my favorite texts over these past 24 hours have been former and current student athletes and even parents of student athletes. Each of you has helped make this place what it is, and what it is great. The University of Louisville is great. We are one of the premier athletic departments in the country, and we are a member of the premier conference in the country. And if all of us on this campus, in this community, and around the country understand this, this department will achieve even greater heights. I want to make sure everyone understands that when Card Nation is united, no one can offer what we can offer. And when that happens, we will recruit the very best students and athletes in the country to this city and this campus. Most importantly, we will provide our student athletes with the very best resources. We will surround them with great people, and this will allow them to achieve their dreams. And to take a quote from Kenny Payne, I want dream chasers. We have to have fans, staff, and coaches who are all dream chasers. If we wake up every day and remind ourselves that we are great, we will create a culture of excellence. That is my promise to everyone affiliated with this university. We will create a culture of excellence. When I say a culture of excellence, what does that mean? It means we're going to be committed to something bigger than this department. We're going to impact this campus and this community. We will be engaged and visible across this campus and across this city. We're going to hold ourselves accountable. We will hold ourselves to the highest standards, and we will not compromise those standards. We will always act with the highest levels of integrity. We will be transparent with everything we do, and once again, at the forefront of every decision we make will be our student athletes. I'm a believer that individual experiences, when combined, create culture. Thus, it is my responsibility to set this standard. I give each of you my word that I am committed to setting that standard. As it relates to individual experiences, I've been fortunate to be around and work with some of the very best leaders in this industry, which has shaped my view and my idea of excellence. With that, I thought I would spend a few brief moments sharing who and how those leaders have impacted my life. I have to start with my dad. My dad was a longtime administrator on the academic side of campus. My first glimpse into college athletics was when my dad served as the faculty athletic rep at Colorado State University. This gave me the opportunity to attend games, practices, and travel with teams. He was a huge believer of giving people an opportunity. So I can promise you we will provide opportunities for our staff and students to grow and achieve their goals. Tom Jurich, he gave me a chance. He provided me with an opportunity to go back to school, get my MBA here at U of L, and allowed me to work here for 10 years. He taught me the status quo is never okay. He helped me understand the importance of creating and setting a vision that allows people associated with your program to dream big and shoot for the stars. We will dream big, and we will never be okay with the status quo. Mark Jackson, the current AD at Villanova, probably the most influential person along my journey of wanting to become an AD. He was invested in what was best for his staff, each and every one of them. He cared about people, he led with compassion, and he was a collaborative leader. He was unwavering in the simple task of doing the right thing, even when that meant making a hard decision. Probably my favorite story about Mark, and for people to understand how he set the tone with me, I was actually running in Cherokee Park, imagine that. And I got a phone call from him. I had interviewed and gone through the process, and he said, "Hey, I want to offer you this job." And I accepted. He was happy. I was happy. And then he just stopped on a dime. And he said, "I want to make sure one thing's very clear." He said, if you're mean to anybody on my staff, I'll fire you." And that resonated with me, right? It was such a simple statement, but he meant it. And so with that, we will be nice to people. We will treat everyone with respect. We can disagree, we can be frustrated, but we will always foster a culture of respect. Jay Wright. I could talk for the next 45 minutes about what I learned from Jay. Everything matters. You'll hear me say that a lot. He refused to compromise with anything around his program. He set a standard, and he expected anyone around his program to uphold that standard. He taught me everyone needs help, and it's okay to ask for help. As Jay told me, when Mark got here, I could focus on coaching as opposed to doing everything else. Raising money, communicating with donors, navigating conference realignment, thus the 2 national titles and 3 Final Fours since Mark was named the AD at Villanova. We will not compromise. We will put a plan together to provide coaches and student athletes with what they need to be successful. And we will ask for help. We will be collaborative with campus and the Louisville community to provide the best resources possible for our students, coaches, and teams. Vince Tyre, similar to Mark, he made me realize that it's okay to be compassionate. He made me realize that most problems are solved by applying empathy to the situation. And similar to Mark, one of my favorite quotes from Vince, be fearless to make the right decision. We will create an environment and culture where people will always make the right decision. Lastly, my wife and kids. They've taught me patience and compassion, and yes, they've taught me that sometimes it's best to just keep my mouth shut. Most importantly, they've taught me that no matter what gets thrown my way professionally, life's going to be okay. Let me see if I can tie all this together and wrap this up so we can focus our energy on our baseball team. I want everyone involved with this program to understand this is one of the best jobs in college athletics. To say I'm honored and humbled to be up here would be an understatement. I say this because of the strength and foundation of this university, this department, this community, and this brand, the Louisville Cardinals. There are countless people who helped establish this foundation, and if we're going to build on that strong foundation and create the best athletic department in the country, it's going to take everyone who has ever cared about this place being on board and supporting us. Fans, donors, former players, former coaches, former administrators, each of you is always welcome here. Don't ever forget how much you care about this place, and know that when you're involved, we get that much stronger. We get stronger because of the passion you bring to this institution. We need all of you. We need this campus, this city, and this state behind us. When this happens, we get incrementally better in everything we do, which means we start winning national championships. This department, with all of its storied history, has a total of three team titles in one sport. I understand how hard it is to win, but I want more. I want volleyball and women's basketball, baseball, swimming and diving, field hockey, soccers, golfs, tennises, lacrosse, rowing, track and field, football. I want us winning national championships. As I said, this is the best job in the country, and I will be forever grateful to represent and lead this world-class institution and program. I will do everything I can to ensure all the dream chasers committed to the University of Louisville have the resources needed to achieve their dreams. With that, I'll take a few questions.
Josh, you talked of unity. There was a letter yesterday from some prominent boosters. Can you get them back in the fold, or are they still in the fold?
We're going to try, and I don't think they're out of the fold. And look, they showed the passion they have for this university and for somebody that led this program for 20 years. And so that's a heck of a lot better situation to be in than go into a place that doesn't have that same passion. And so we're going to do everything we can to make sure everybody in this city, anybody associated with this brand, with this university, feels good about what we're doing on this campus. And I think if we can show that everybody will be on board.
What are some of your challenges ahead right away, including but not limited to the NCAA, NIL, all that stuff?
Yeah, it's just college athletics, and it's evolving, and we've got to be prepared for everything. On the NCAA front, obviously we're doing everything we can to put that behind us. I feel like we have a really, really good team internally, externally, and so focused on getting that behind us sooner than later and creating some clarity, around that program. But we're moving forward, and we're going to be prepared, whether it's NIL or the changing landscape in college football or college athletics as a whole. I can promise you that we'll be prepared, we'll have a plan, and we'll be able to put ourselves, the University of Louisville, in a position, in a really strong position, whatever happens.
Josh, I'm sure you were confident in your ability to do this job, but how much did hiring a basketball coach at Louisville help you kind of navigate that interim process and make you feel like the full-time athletic director?
I think it allowed me, the biggest thing it did is it made me realize that I was given the opportunity to make the decision, to make the big decision. And it was a process. When you think about all the ADs around the country, there's a lot of them that actually, they never get to go through that process of hiring a high-profile coach. And so to be able to do that, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and I do think it prepared me for this role and got me better at some things, absolutely. That's it?
Josh, there has not, when you became the interim, there were questions about the basketball coach. You had an interim president, which you still have, but there wasn't a lot of stability. How much is today a step toward some stability in the program, do you hope?
I hope it's a big step. I hope that I'm going to be here for a long time. That's my goal. I can promise you that I will never have another job as long as people want me to be the athletic director here. This job is a dream come true. When I think about 2007, when I started here as a grad assistant, Amy and I in our little closet of an office, to be up here today, it means I can't put it into words what it means to stand up here and be the athletic director for the University of Louisville. So like I said, as long as people want me here, I'm going to be right here. We love this city, we love this university, and we're excited to be here for a long time.
Yeah. When you first came here with the closet of an office, do you remember the first 2, 3, 4 things you actually worked on?
I was in the ticket office. I was in the ticket office and did whatever they told me to. And that's been my mantra throughout my career, is just do whatever anybody tells you and try to do more. And that's not going to change. I'm going to listen to people and listen to people that are in and around this university, and we're going to make really good decisions and try to do more than people expect of us.
How do you unify a fractured fan base?
I think we keep doing what we've done over the last 6 months. I don't know if I'd call this fan base fractured. Look at everybody in this room. You know, when you look at where we are right now, I think this fan base is unified. I think they want what's best for this university, and we're just going to keep making the right decisions. And when that happens, people, if they are apprehensive, they realize things are going really well. And so I want to be part of that, and that's what we're going to do.
Josh, you were able to identify some challenges when you first took on this job. I mean, what do you feel like is your immediate challenge now, or what's your project right now?
We have a lot of, excuse me, I don't want to call them smaller projects. I don't know if I'd call a $5 million Wi-Fi install a small project. You know, we have some of those operational projects. We want to roll out a fundraising campaign dealing with academics here midsummer to really try to incrementally lift those dollars that we put towards, whether it's summer school or Alston funding or the degree completion program. Fan engagement, fan experience, that is always going to be at top of mind for me. And I know this is vague and broad, but it's making sure that our coaches and our student athletes have the resources they need to be successful. You know, I don't want any of our coaches to feel like, hey, if only I had this. I want our coaches to feel like I had everything that I needed and I was able to compete at the highest level, because I think if we do that, we have coaches. I mean, a large number of them are in this room. They're some of the best in the country. And if we give them the resources, they're going to win. They're going to win national championships.
Think back to that day in the time when your office is in the closet. Then you get the call from Mark. You come back here and how it worked out with Vince. Kind of your career and the way things have fallen for you. Can you just kind of put those into words for a minute?
I think I would just say fortunate. When you think about the fact that I'm serving as an athletic director today, and I've been lucky and fortunate enough to work at 2 institutions to get that done. I don't think that happens very often in this industry. And so I would just say that I'm really fortunate, I'm blessed, and there's and I do get a little emotional thinking about it. There's a lot of people that helped me get here, a lot of people who helped me get here. And thinking back on it, it's just, it's really neat to think about all the people who said, hey, I care about Josh. I care about Josh and his family enough to try to help him out. And as I think about that, it means the world to me.
What's your financial situation?
Well, we last week, Jeff, presented our budget to the board, and it's the largest budget that we've ever had. So I think that's really good news. You know, we've got to deal with some debt, and we're committed to doing that. And that doesn't mean that we're going to stop creating and finding projects to build and make sure that we have the resources for our student athletes to be successful. I think we have a plan in place to do that, and that's what we're going to do.
You went to some pains to thank Tom Jurich, and wondering if you've had much communication with him privately during this period, and if there's a priority or a significance in your mind of trying to heal whatever breach there is between him and the university.
No, Tom and I've had very little interactions really since I went to Villanova. Obviously, we had a lot of interactions there for 10 years while I was here the first time, but very little interaction since I went to Villanova. We've just gone our separate ways. Obviously, he's been doing his thing. I've been doing mine, and I would tell you that it's important for anybody, former coach, former administrator, former players, it's important for them to be involved with this program. And when you think about everything that was accomplished under his leadership, absolutely. I would hope that he feels like he has the opportunity to come back at some point.
Josh, how much in your career have you been directly connected with fundraising, and how important will that be in your job now?
It's the lifeblood of college athletics. It's really, really important. And I didn't do a ton of it while I was here at Louisville, but one of the main reasons I went to Villanova was they were in the midst, or they were just beginning the process of fundraising $75 million to renovate their basketball arena. And that happened in less than a year. And so I was involved in a lot of those conversations. Obviously, I wasn't the AD, so I wasn't having those big conversations. But as far as anybody that gave to that project, I know them. I had those conversations, and obviously that's happening here now. Vince hired me to serve in an internal role so that he could be more external. But once again, when you're at that level, you know, and are having conversations with most donors and fans, and that's just obviously magnified in these last 6 months. And so we're going to continue to get out there. We're going to meet with anybody and everybody. As I've said, the one thing I can do with fans and donors is give them my most valuable asset, which is time. And I will meet with anybody, anywhere. I will talk on the phone, anytime, anywhere, shoot text messages. That's what I tell Michael and our fundraising team. Wherever you need me, I'm going to be there, and that's not going to change.
Josh, you've got the NLI stuff, everything going on, but as you now take over, how do you restructure, how do you replace yourself and kind of restructure your department? Maybe?
It's going to be hard to do, Jody. It's big shoes to fill. No, we've started looking at that. That was one of the things that I didn't want to get the cart before the horse as far as serving in the interim role, because I didn't want to upset the apple cart there. And so we've had discussions internally with the senior team as far as what does it look like, how do we shift things around. And so we'll sort that out here in the next couple of weeks. I don't have anything definite right now.
Other questions for Josh?
In terms of that, what has the past 6 months been like in terms of balancing your ideas versus what you felt comfortable implementing as an interim athletic director?
It's been very little that I haven't felt like I can implement. Lori from day one said, hey, you've been given the authority to act as you are not an interim. And so that's what we did. And obviously, I think that's shown. But when you start moving organizational structures around, and I wanted to make sure I didn't push myself out of a job if I didn't get this one. And I say that jokingly. No, it was like, look, we'll get there when we need to, if I get the opportunity to be in this role. That was really it. Outside of that, you can ask anybody on our staff. It was full steam ahead. We didn't take a day off. We're not taking today off. We get done here, we're going to go support and celebrate that baseball team and make sure that they have everything they need to win this regional.
Any further for Josh?
I was just going to add, this is a big weekend with baseball. Can you just kind of talk about having baseball back, postseason back down there?
It's fun. It's fun. That's the best word to describe it. And Dan and I were texting this morning. I was actually disappointed that this news broke the way that it did, because the original plan, and as you know, we tend to have to pivot from the original plan, was to make this announcement early next week for the sole reason that we didn't want to distract and take away from the baseball program, because that's really what this weekend is about. And when you think about everything that Dan's accomplished, I believe this is the 9th regional that we've hosted. There's not a lot of programs that get to have postseason baseball. Obviously, there's 16 right now, and it's so much fun. I think we're sold out for the 2:00 game from a chairback standpoint. Doesn't mean you can't go. Just means you can't sit in a seat. Yes, general admission, berm. Come and join us. Half-price drinks. That includes beer. Starting at 1:00, and so I encourage everybody to get out there, support this program, support Dan and the guys, and I know they're going to do great things this weekend and hopefully over the next couple of weeks as well.
Dr. Gonzalez,
Oh, yes.
can you clarify whether signing an NDA was a condition of getting an interview?
So when we set out to do the search, we had two things that we wanted everyone to do. We wanted everyone that was involved from the advisory committee, from me, and any of the candidates to sign an NDA. And then we also needed an updated resume from the people who were interested in the job. And I want to tell you why we did the NDA. When a person that is a sitting AD applies for a job, if that person's name is out and he or she doesn't get the job, it may shake the faith in that person at their home institution. And I wanted to make sure that anyone that expressed an interest in our university would be protected. So those were two documents that that was kind of the gateway into being considered for the job.
Did Tom Jurich refuse to sign one?
So when I said that I signed an NDA to keep confidentiality, what that means is I'm not going to talk about any candidates or potential candidates. I will say that everyone that provided those two documents were considered.
Dr. Gonzalez, how much did the basketball hire impact the way you guys looked at Josh and the job he did as the interim athletic director?
I say it was a positive impact, right? What I want to say about Josh is Josh won this position. He had stiff competition. He had people who were sitting ADs that had winning teams. But when we looked at the skill set he brings, and the first word I talk about with Josh is integrity. And then he has a belief in student athletes, and he wants to support his coaches. So his successes were measured just like other successes of other ADs. And bringing Kenny on was, I don't know, notable perhaps.
When you were started this, the candidate pool, what did you think it would be like, and was it that, or was it even more experience and more ADs and more interest than maybe you thought?
So, when we started, I think we talked about 4 concerns: an interim president, an interim AD that had expressed interest in the job, 3 things, and then the NCAA, because it wasn't done. So we weren't sure what the interest was, and I was surprised by the quality and the caliber of people that we got and the number we got. So it was a pleasant surprise about that. And I mean, when you interviewed these candidates, I mean, they talk about just what Josh said. Working at the University of Louisville is a dream job. And so people were so excited about the possibility of coming here.
As Tim mentioned earlier, yesterday, a group of boosters released a letter expressing their disappointment. What was your reaction to that, and do you plan to meet with any of them to address any of their concerns?
Well, I hadn't thought about meeting with them. I read the letter. I tell you one thing that happens when you're sitting even temporarily in the president's seat, a lot of people want to give you their opinions, and they're passionate about the university. So I read those. And I will just say we had 14 listening tours for people, and thanks to the committee that did that with Danny and David Schultz. And then we had 600 comments come through the portal. So I take that into account, and I think some of the questions that have been asked about how we're going to get a fractured fan base, Cardinal fans are loyal to the bird. And so that's how we're going to do it. We're going to have winning teams. We're going to put these student athletes first, and people are going to want to come and see that. And so I hadn't planned to meet with them. If they want to meet with me, I'm happy to do so. I'm always happy to talk about the University of Louisville and all the great things that we're doing. Well, I'm going to say more than a dozen. I'm not going to say it, I just said it. More than a dozen. So if there are no more questions, let's welcome Josh to his new job.